South Africa's president has been re-elected by lawmakers for a second term, hours after his African National Congress and the Democratic Alliance, DA, agreed to form a coalition, setting aside their rivalry in a historic governance path. Ramaphosa won the late Friday vote against Julius Malema, leader of the far-right economic freedom fighters, winning 283 votes to Malema's 44. Earlier in the day, the pro-business DA said it would vote for Ramaphosa as part of an agreement with the former liberation movement to form a unity government. Ramaphosa's centrist preference ultimately won out over more left-wing factions of the ANC, which wanted to strike a deal with breakaway parties that back nationalization and seizing land from white farmers. The deal was struck amid criticism that the DA favors the interests of South Africa's white minority, something it denies. The ANC lost its parliamentary majority in 29th of May elections for the first time since it swept to power in 1994 at the end of apartheid. Its vote share collapsed from 57.5% in 2019 to 40.2% as supporters defected to breakaway parties amid chronic unemployment worsening public services. The DA, which received almost 22% of the vote, will back Ramaphosa's election by lawmakers for a second term, while its MPs will also vote for an ANC Speaker of Parliament in return for the positions of Deputy Speaker. Its leader, John Steenhuisen, told a press briefing. Today, the DA becomes a party of national government, Steenhuisen said, after the legislatures were sworn in at a convention center in Cape Town, while the parliament buildings are still being renovated after a fire in 2022. Through their votes, the people have made it clear that they do not want any part to dominate our society. The people have also told us that the time for finger pointing is over and that the time for a new politics of collaboration and power solving has arrived. An ANC and DA coalition was favored by large businesses and international investors, with Ramaphosa 71 expected to continue to try pushing forward policies such as allowing the private sector to generate renewable energy, which has contributed to a fall in power cuts. Negotiations will continue after Friday on policies and cabinet positions, Steenhuisen said, adding that the 2-week period after election results that the Constitution mandates for the election of a president was not long enough to reach a full coalition agreement. You see, the same thing that is happening in Europe is the same thing that is happening in Africa, especially when it comes to South Africa. You see, the loophole that these parties has left in the past is what the left are exploiting, and they are very good at that in South Africa. And truth be told, it is high time South Africa as a country be on the side of their people and stop being on the side of the businesses. Stop being on the side of foreign investors or international investors. It is high time South Africa should put South African people first in everything they are doing. Yes, because every government owes its people the first obligation before any other person. That is what people like Julius Malema is fighting for. He is fighting for a government of South Africa for all South African people, not for businesses and foreign investors, which is quite understandable. Yeah, so any government that is in South Africa should try to be on the side of equality, on the side of its citizens first, before any other person. And this cause is what Julius Malema has been fighting for a long time. That is why you see that young man, even though he's fearless, is gaining more ground and more supporters day by day. Yes, we need more of people like him in Africa in general, because the more we have people that will stand on the side of protecting the people, fighting for the people, for the country not to marginalize any part of the country, for total equality, that is when Africa will start moving forward.